Afternoon, guys. Apologies. As you know, when I miss a Tuesday, I try to catch up on a Thursday. So, the topic we're talking about today are promises. You are two things in this world. You are your word and you are your actions. And when the two do not correlate, both are worthless. So, that's the real question. We often make promises. We make promises to other people that we make promises to our employer. We're going to turn up for work at a certain time and we go through with it. We make promises to our family that we're going to have dinner together and we go through with it. But the real question is, are you keeping the promises to yourself? Always important, the old pause there to emphasize things. But what's very important with this is, like, if you're constantly telling yourself that I'm going to start this on Monday and not doing it, and then you do it again the next week and again the next week, what happens after days and days and weeks and weeks and months and months of telling yourself you're going to do something and then not actually doing it? Well, firstly, you start to doubt your own words, and then you'll start to doubt yourself, and usually you'll doubt your self-worth. It's a slippery slope. So how do we change this? Well, the first thing is, maybe stop telling yourself things that you think you're going to do or delude yourself into do. Maybe if you, the next time you say something to yourself, the next time you promise to do something like, I'm going to eat less of this, do it. Or maybe think of it another way. When people frequently come to the gym and they tell me, it's like, oh, I know I'm eating these 8 biscuits a night and they're not good for me and I need to stop, so I'm going to stop all the biscuits cold turkey. That's usually not a good idea, because it might happen once and then it doesn't happen after, and then you're a failure and you also feel your word was worthless. Think about what you're going to promise yourself. Think about making it something you can live with. So one of the things we often see with people is they're sitting down, they're having a cup of tea, a cup of coffee, and they're having half a pack of biscuits, because as I joke, like, the portion is the packet. It's not just two. So maybe the promise you should make to yourself is, next time I have coffee, I'm going to have 2 biscuits. Not 4, not 5, not 10, just 2. Take the 2 out of the packet and put the packet back in the press. Then go sit down, watch your television, or sit with your friends and have those 2 biscuits and enjoy them. And make that promise to yourself and keep it. And start to think of other things that you can realistically do in your routine that's going to help you get to where you need to be. A lot of people, as I said, just try to cut all these things out, do it for 6 weeks, and then you kind of fall off the wagon again. And that's not really helpful, because having a healthy lifestyle, you are what you eat. If you eat a certain way now, you stop doing that for 6 months, and then you go back to the way you were before, you're going to get the body you had before. And if you're not happy with that, that's not the direction to go. It's more about taking little steps along the way, trying to keep our word to ourselves. I always make the analogy, it's like brushing your teeth. You wouldn't expect to not brush your teeth all year long and then brush them 3 times a day for 6 weeks and suddenly have the perfect set of teeth. That's not going to work. We all know that intrinsically, but somehow we think that it's going to work with our diet and with our fitness. So try to think of a promise you can make to yourself. And, like, as regards promises that I've made to myself, I do try to stay true to my word, but I won't lie, I fall through on some of them all the time. One of the ones I made to myself last year was, was absolutely terrified at the concept of talking to a camera on Facebook Live doing public speaking. Most people don't like public speaking. But I made a commitment to myself is that I'm going to do this once a week. And by and large, I've done that for over a year with few, obviously there'll be 1 or 2, I was sick or something happened. Things can happen, but by and large, I've kept that trend going. And the benefit has come for it. I have no problem talking in front of a camera now. I don't care. I've said very personal things and stupid things that I never would have dreamed of saying in the past. It may help one person through one thing. And you know what? If I did this for a whole year, and I know 2 or 3 people have found benefit of it, but if only those 2 or 3 people found benefit, that's enough. That's more than I expected. I only expected to kind of help myself get over my own demons. And the fact that I could have helped anyone else with anything else is a huge, huge bonus to me. So think long and hard. Is there any promise you can make yourself that you can keep? A promise that you can keep and say just till the end of September. Try to do 2 weeks. Get the ball rolling and then keep going. You know, and much like everything else, I could have made every excuse not to do this Facebook Live today. I was a bit caught for time. That's why I'm in the car. I was very tempted to do it, well, only a little tempted, to do it while I was driving on the road, but I was like, that's definitely illegal and not a very good idea. But at the same time, I'm making it happen. I'm in the car. It's getting done. And it's the same thing. If you said, I'm going to do 100 squats every day, I thought great article on it there earlier, which I thought was very nice. There's nothing wrong with doing it in the middle of work. People look at you funny, but at least you're keeping your promise to yourself. And that's all that matters. And people respect that. You know, even if they're stupid promises, if you follow through with your word on some begrudging level, people will respect you. They might think you're an idiot, but they respect you. Sorry, that's probably a bit close to my home, but nonetheless, look, take care, guys. Be back next week. Don't be afraid to ask any questions. Don't be afraid to send us any messages. And maybe there's a promise that you need someone else to know about. Feel free, send me a message to the page. Tell me what the promise you're making to yourself, and I will touch base with you next week to see, did you follow up with your promise? And if you didn't, we can have a chat about what we can change to get you there. Okay? So, take care, guys. Have a nice day, and we'll catch up next week.